No one is built to live on this plane forever. If you passed away today, what would your grandchildren actually know about you? Not your net worth, not your job title, not even the car you drove. I mean, would they know what you survived, what you sacrificed, why you made the decisions that built the life they inherited? Most people can't answer that question. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Welcome to the TheScribesMedia podcast. I'm Okola, and if you're new here, I'm a professional biographer. I spent years helping business leaders, the clergy, entrepreneurs, our royal fathers, and family patriarchs turn their life stories into books that outlive them. Today's episode is simple, but it might be one of the most important conversations we have this year. Why your biography matters and why waiting is a mistake. Now grab a coffee and let's get into it. Here's the truth I've learned through doing this work. Every single person has a story. Some are stories of sacrifice, of achievements, of our decisions, stories of lessons that took decades to learn. And yet, most of these stories are never written down. When someone passes away, their memories usually go with them. Family histories become fragmented. The next generation grows up without access to the very experiences that shaped who they are. That's the gap professional biography writing fills. Because here's the thing, people don't hire a biographer because they want a book sitting on a shelf. They hire one because they want to preserve something far more valuable, their legacy. Now, quick clarification, because people mix this up all the time. An autobiography is when you sit down and write your own book by yourself. A biography, on the other hand, is done differently. A professional biographer conducts the interviews, does the research, verifies the facts, organizes the memories, and crafts the story. But your voice, your personality, your experiences, that stays completely yours. Which means busy executives, elderly parents, pastors, our royal fathers, our politicians, public figures, entrepreneurs, none of them need to find the time to become a writer. We do the heavy lifting. What they do is just to talk. So let's get into the real motivations, because I've sat across the table from a lot of clients and the reasons always come back to a handful of core truths. Reason one, the fear of being forgotten. There's a stage in life where people start asking, what will people remember about me? What happens to my story after I am gone? It is not ego, it is significance. People want their story to keep inspiring long after they're not in the room anymore. Reason number two, preserving family history. Family history is fragile. If it is passed down orally, it can disappear in a single generation. Details get distorted, stories get lost. But the recent biography locks that history in permanently. Reason number three, capturing life lessons. Every life carries lessons, some from success, from failure, loss, leadership, adversity, and faith. A biography isn't just a story, it becomes a guidebook for the next generation. And reason four, that's the story behind the success. The world sees the company, the title, the wealth. What it doesn't see is the rejection, the sacrifices, the years of quiet struggle underneath it. That journey is often more valuable than the destination, and it deserves to be documented. Reason number five, leaving a legacy that isn't just financial. Values, principles of leadership, faith journeys, business philosophy, wisdom. These are things money cannot transfer, but a book can. Now, reason six, regret. This one comes up constantly. Clients tell me, I wish I've recorded my father's stories before he passed. That regret is often what pushes someone to document their own story before it is too late. Reason seven, simply no time to write. Executives, pastors, professionals, they have wanted to write that book for years. The desire was not a problem. The hundreds of hours required was. That's where a biographer comes in. Reason number 8, organizing decades of memory. Most people know their story. They just don't know how to structure it. That is literally what we are trained to do. And reason 9, building authority and thought leadership. A well-written biography can position someone as a voice in business, politics, ministry, or education long after the interview stops. And reason 10, creating a lasting family treasure. Social media posts disappear, speeches get forgotten. A book, however, is something your grandchildren can hold in their hands decades from now. Here's the irony of the world we live in right now. We post more photos and videos than any generation in human history. And yet, we may end up being the least understood generation because none of it actually explains the why. Photos showed what happened. A biography explains why it mattered. And that difference is everything. The best biographers don't just write, they listen. They ask the questions you didn't know that needed asking. And they uncover stories even you have forgotten. Every life has moments worth keeping and remembering. Every family has stories worth preserving. And every leader has lessons worth passing down. The question was never whether your story matters. The question is whether it will still be there when the people who need it the most come looking for it. Some stories deserve more than memories. They deserve preservation. If this resonated with you and you have been thinking about your own story or your parents or your mentors, book a discovery call with TheScribesMedia. Link is in the description. Once again, I am Mupilola Adeni, the celebrity biographer. Thank you.